Most gardeners are stuck in a loop. Every spring, back to the garden center. Same herbs, same money, same thing. But there's a whole category of herb that completely breaks that cycle. You plant it once, it comes back next year, bigger, and the year after that, bigger again. Some of them spread underground, some of them seed themselves everywhere. One of them literally walks across your garden on its own. These are the 20 herbs that pay you back forever, and a few of them will genuinely stop you, because one was used by Roman soldiers to stay sharp on military campaigns. One smells like chocolate and has been traded as currency. One grows wild in ditches across North America, and then most people have no idea it's one of the most powerful liver medicines on the planet. And number 20 is something most people rip out of the ground without ever knowing what they're throwing away. Let's get into it. Number 1, sweet Cicely. Most people have never heard of sweet Cicely. That's exactly why. It's first. It's a tall, ferny perennial that smells and tastes like anise, but sweeter, almost like licorice candy. Every part of it is edible. The leaves, the stems, the seeds, the root. And here's the thing that makes it genuinely useful. It's naturally sweet without containing sugar. People have been adding it to tart fruit, rhubarb, gooseberries, plums, for centuries, specifically to reduce the amount of sugar needed in cooking. If you're growing fruit and trying to cut back on sugar, sweet Cicely is one of the most practical plants you can have. It comes back every year from a deep taproot and gets bigger each season. It also self-seeds freely. You'll find seedlings popping up nearby without doing anything. The seeds need a cold period to germinate, so plant them in fall or leave the seed heads on the plant over winter and let nature handle it. It tolerates shade better than almost any other herb on this list. Got a dark corner nothing else wants? Sweet Cicely will own it. Number 2, Elecampane. This one looks like a small sunflower. Grows 5 or 6 feet tall, bright yellow blooms, dramatic and beautiful. Most people who see it have no idea what it is. Elecampane root has been used as medicine for over 2,000 years. The Romans used it constantly. There are records of it being eaten as a food, used as a digestive aid, and taken for lung conditions going back to ancient Greece. The active compound, inulin, which Elecampane contains at higher concentrations than almost any other plant, is a prebiotic fiber that feeds beneficial gut bacteria. Modern research has confirmed its antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory properties. It's been called one of the most overlooked medicinal herbs in the Western tradition. In the garden, Elecampane spreads by thick, fleshy rhizomes that you divide every few years. Dig up a section of root in fall or spring, replant pieces, and you've just made more plants. The root smells like violets and camphor mixed. Together, one of the stranger, more interesting smells in the garden, it grows in partial shade, tolerates poor soil, and once established, it's nearly indestructible. Plant it at the back of a bed and just let it get bigger every year. Number 3, Soapwort. Here's one with a history that goes back to medieval Europe, and a use that almost nobody knows about anymore. Soapwort gets its name from the fact that the leaves and roots, when crushed and mixed with water, produce a gentle lather. It was used as soap for centuries, for washing fabrics, for bathing, for cleaning delicate textiles. Museum conservators still use Soapwort today to clean ancient tapestries and fragile historic fabrics because it's gentle enough not to damage them. The medicinal history is just as interesting. It was used traditionally as an expectorant for chest infections and as a treatment for skin conditions, including eczema and psoriasis. Some herbalists still use it today for exactly those purposes. In the garden, Soapwort is one of the most cheerful spreaders you'll find. It sends out underground runners in every direction, popping up new plants constantly. The flowers are small, pink, and pretty. It's used as an ornamental in a lot of gardens by people who have no idea it's also functional. It blooms for a long time through summer and comes back reliably every year, filling more space each season. Give it room, and it'll reward you with a spreading carpet of flowers and a plant you'll actually use. Number 4, Vietnamese Coriander. This one is for anyone who has ever tried to grow regular cilantro and watched it bolt to seed in the heat 2 weeks after planting. Vietnamese coriander, also called rau ram, tastes like cilantro but is a completely different plant. And unlike regular cilantro, which is an annual that bolts at the first sign of warm weather, Vietnamese coriander is a perennial that actually prefers heat. It loves summer. It gets more productive the warmer it gets. And it spreads by creeping stems that root wherever they touch soil, slowly covering more ground each season. It's a staple in Vietnamese and Southeast Asian cooking and has been used for centuries across the region. The flavor is sharper and more peppery than regular cilantro. Some people actually prefer it. It's used fresh in salads, soups, and noodle dishes. and it holds up to heat far better than regular cilantro leaves. If you live somewhere hot and you've given up on cilantro because it just won't cooperate, this is your answer. Plant it once in a warm, moist spot. It'll spread. It'll thrive in the heat everyone else is cursing at, and it'll give you that cilantro-adjacent flavor all summer long without bolting. Number 5. Anise Hyssop. Anise Hyssop smells like someone crossed licorice with mint and then added something floral on top. It's one of those plants where you brush against it in the garden and stop walking because the scent is that good. It was used extensively by indigenous peoples across North America, as a tea for coughs and fevers, as a flavoring, and as a ceremonial plant. The leaves make a tea that tastes genuinely delicious, sweet and anise-forward with a clean finish. Dried, it holds its flavor better than most herbs. The bees lose their minds over it. The long purple flower spikes bloom for months and attract more pollinators than almost any other plant in the garden. If you're growing anything that needs pollination nearby, Anise Hyssop is one of the best plants you can add to the mix. In the garden, it behaves beautifully. It's a short-lived perennial in some climates, but it self-seeds so reliably that it functions as permanent. Let a few seed heads drop each fall and you'll have more plants than you started with every single spring. It also tolerates drought surprisingly well once established. Number 6. Oregano. Here's something worth knowing before you buy oregano. The dried stuff in the grocery store jar is almost always a watered-down blend that's lost most of its flavor. Real Greek or Turkish oregano, the kind with actual bite, has compounds in it that are being studied right now as natural antimicrobials. It's genuinely potent stuff. In the garden, oregano spreads 2 ways at once. The root clump slowly expands outward every year, and wherever a stem droops and touches the soil, it roots itself and starts a new plant. You'll find little oregano plants popping up all around the mother without doing a thing. Cut it hard after it flowers in midsummer. It pushes out a fresh flush of growth before fall that's more flavorful than anything it produced in spring. Number 7. Thyme. Thyme does something most people never notice. As the plant ages, the stems at the edges slowly droop, touch the soil, and root on contact. The plant is quietly cloning itself at its own edges, year after year. After 3 or 4 years, one thyme plant can cover a few square feet of ground. If you want more plants, just cut those rooted edge pieces off and transplant them. Free plants indefinitely. The health side of thyme is worth knowing. Thymol, its main active compound, is literally the active ingredient in Listerine. It's been used for coughs and respiratory infections for centuries, and the research backs that up. Fresh thyme tea has shown real results in clinical studies for bronchitis. This isn't just a kitchen herb. Number 8. Mint. Mint spreads. Everyone knows that. What most people don't know is that the spreading is the whole point. You just need one simple trick to keep it in check. Sink a large pot into the ground with just the rim showing above the soil. Plant your mint inside it. The roots can't escape the pot. The plant grows as lush and aggressive as it wants to. You harvest constantly, and it comes back every spring without a second thought. And here's the thing about mint people miss. There are over 600 named varieties. Chocolate mint that genuinely smells like a peppermint patty. Apple mint with soft, fuzzy leaves. Pineapple mint. Pennyroyal that repels insects. The flavor range is huge. Peppermint specifically. The menthol in it has solid research behind it for tension headaches, digestion, and IBS. One pot sunk into the ground. Infinite mint. Infinite uses. Number 9. Lemon balm. Lemon balm is the one people always underestimate until they actually smell it. Crush a single leaf and it hits you immediately. Bright, clean, like lemon, but fresher. In iced tea or cold water on a summer day, it's one of those things that makes people stop and ask what they're drinking. The reason it's on this list isn't just the flavor. Rosmarinic acid, the main compound in lemon balm, has been shown in multiple studies to genuinely reduce anxiety and improve sleep. It's formally approved in Germany as a treatment for nervous restlessness and sleep disorders. That's not marketing. That's a regulatory body signing off on it. In the garden, it spreads steadily from the root crown each year, getting bigger every season. It also self-seeds, so you'll find small seedlings appearing around the mother plant every spring, ready to move wherever you want them. Number 10. Lovage. Most people have never heard of lovage. That's a shame, because it might be the most useful plant on this list that nobody talks about. It tastes exactly like celery, but so much more intensely that one leaf adds more flavor to a soup or stock than an entire stalk from the grocery store. Every part is edible. Leaves, stems, and the seeds, which taste like celery seed and anise mixed together and are incredible in bread. Here's the part that catches people off guard. A mature lovage plant can grow 6 feet tall. It becomes this dramatic, tall thing in the garden. Big cut leaves, yellow flowers that pollinators love. And it comes back from the roots every single year, pushing harder each season. By year 4 or 5, it doesn't just survive winter. It owns the corner it's planted in. Number 11, French Tarragon. This one has a trap you need to know about before you buy it. There are 2 Tarragons. Russian Tarragon grows easily from seed, spreads like crazy, and tastes like almost nothing. French Tarragon has a flavor that's genuinely unlike anything else. Anise, vanilla, a little pepper, all at once. And it cannot be grown from seed at all. It can only be propagated by division or cuttings. To make sure you're getting the right one, rub a leaf and smell it. Strong anise scent. French? Nothing? Russian. Buy accordingly. French Tarragon divides every couple of years. Dig up the clump, split it, replant. One plant becomes 3 or 4. Those become 10. It's a flavor that's impossible to find fresh at a store, and once you have a clump established, you'll always have it. Number 12, horseradish. Horseradish is the most determined plant on this list. If you plant it and then try to remove it, any fragment of root left in the soil will sprout a new plant. Dig it out carelessly, and next spring you have twice as many. It does not give up, which means your job is simple. Harvest every fall, replant a piece, and let it keep going forever. Fresh grated horseradish is in a completely different category from the jarred version. The heat compound is produced the second the root cells break, and it starts fading within minutes. What you get from a jar is a shadow of what you get fresh from the ground. Horseradish is packed with glucosinolates, the same compounds found in broccoli at very high concentrations, that have been extensively studied for their protective effects. Grow it in a container if you want to keep it controlled. Otherwise, give it a corner and let it do its thing. Number 13, chamomile. Chamomile doesn't come back from the roots. It comes back from seeds, and it does it so well that after one season, you'll have it forever. One plant produces thousands of seeds. If you let even a fraction of the flowers drop seed at the end of the season, next spring you'll find chamomile seedlings everywhere. They fill gaps, suppress weeds, attract beneficial insects, and look great doing all of it. Pick the flowers just as the petals start to pull back and dry them. The tea is nothing like the boxed stuff. More apple, more depth, more complex. Apigenin, the active compound, binds to the same receptors in the brain as anti-anxiety medication, without the dependency. It's been used as a sleep aid for over 3,000 years across almost every civilization on Earth. That's a long track record. Number 14, Echinacea. Echinacea supplements sell for $12 to $18 a bottle. You can grow it in your backyard, let it multiply on its own, and harvest it fresher than any capsule you'd ever buy. It's a perennial that comes back every year from a deep taproot, getting larger and more vigorous each time. It also self-seeds prolifically. Birds scatter the seeds all over your garden. Within 3 years, one plant becomes a colony. A meta-analysis of 24 controlled trials found Echinacea reduced the chance of catching a cold by 35% and cut the duration by over a day. That's a real peer-reviewed number from a plant that costs you nothing after the first season. And it's also just one of the most beautiful things in a summer garden. Tall purple daisy flowers from midsummer all the way to fall. Number 15, Comfrey. Comfrey has been called knitbone for centuries. That name comes from its traditional use in healing. Specifically allantoin, a compound confirmed in research to speed up tissue repair and reduce inflammation. Comfrey-based creams are approved in Germany for sprains, bruises, and muscle pain. Use it externally. That's where the evidence is strongest. But the garden value might be even bigger than the medicinal value. Comfrey has a taproot that goes 6 feet into the ground. It pulls up nutrients from deep subsoil, potassium, phosphorus, calcium, that nothing else can reach. Cut the leaves and lay them on your beds as mulch. Those nutrients get released directly into your soil. People buy fertilizer to do what Comfrey does for free, and it multiplies like horseradish. Every root fragment grows a new plant. Plant it once, harvest leaves all season, use them to feed everything around it. Number 16, Yarrow. Yarrow's genus name, Macalea, comes from the myth that Achilles used it to treat his soldiers' wounds at Troy. That's how long this plant has been known. The chemistry backs the history up. Yarrow contains compounds that genuinely promote blood clotting and have real antiseptic properties. Soldiers packed wounds with it for centuries for a reason. In the garden, it spreads by underground rhizomes, steady and unstoppable. One plant becomes a colony over 3 or 4 years. The flat-topped flowers attract predatory wasps and beneficial insects that eat the pests attacking your other plants, and it thrives in bad soil. Dry, compacted, poor ground where almost nothing else grows. Give it a forgotten corner and it'll fill it, stabilize it, and quietly improve it. Number 17. Bee balm. Most people grow bee balm for the flowers, those bright firework blooms that hummingbirds absolutely swarm. And what most people don't know is that it's also a serious medicinal herb with a real history behind it. Indigenous peoples across the Northeast used it for generations for colds and respiratory infections. When colonists needed a tea alternative after the Boston Tea Party, some of them turned to bee balm. They called it Oswego tea. The leaves contain thymol and carvacrol, the same active compounds as thyme. Fresh leaves steeped in hot water taste floral and spicy in a way that's hard to describe until you try it. In the garden, it spreads by underground runners, the clump expanding every season. Every couple of years, you dig it, divide it, one plant becomes 6. It blooms from midsummer through fall and feeds every pollinator in your yard the whole time. Number 18, walking onion. This one is hard to explain without sounding like you're making it up. Walking onions grow normally at the base. Green shoots you use like scallions. But at the top of each stalk, instead of a flower, they grow a cluster of small bulblets. When those get heavy enough, the stalk bends over, the bulblets touch the ground, and they plant themselves. The plant walks. It literally moves itself across the garden one stalk length at a time. Bend the stalks toward empty beds on purpose, and you can direct where it goes. The green tops can be harvested almost year-round in mild climates. The bulblets work like small shallots. The underground bulbs, pulled in fall, have a deep, complex flavor. Completely maintenance-free, hardy to minus 20 degrees Fahrenheit, no real pest problems. It will still be producing long after you've stopped gardening. Number 19. Chives. You buy one small plant, every single. Here that clump gets wider, denser, and more productive. By year 3, you've got something the size of a dinner plate that you can dig up and split into 4 plants. Those 4 become 16. It just keeps going. Cut the whole clump to an inch above the soil whenever you harvest, and it grows back fuller in 2 to 3 weeks. You can do that 3 or 4 times a season. The purple flowers in late spring are edible too. They taste like a mild, sweet version of the leaf, and they look great scattered over food. One plant. No replanting. Forever. Number 20. Stinging nettle. Here it is, the one most people spend their whole lives trying to avoid, and one of the most nutritious plants that exists. Stinging nettle has more protein per gram than almost any other vegetable. It's packed with iron, calcium, magnesium, and vitamins A, C, and K at levels that put most superfoods to shame. It's been eaten across Europe and Asia for thousands of years. Nettle soup, nettle pesto, nettle tea. Real food with a real history. The sting disappears after 30 seconds in boiling water. Wear gloves to harvest, blanch it immediately, and what you're left with is a deep, earthy green that tastes like spinach, but richer. The dried leaf sells for $15 to $25 a pound at health food stores. In the garden, the rhizomes spread underground and the colony gets bigger and more productive every year. Keep it in a dedicated bed with mowed borders and it stays exactly where you want it. It's the plant most people rip out on site. The ones who know better, harvest it. 20 herbs. Plant any one of them once and it comes back next year without asking anything of you. Plant all of them and in 5 years you'll have more than you can possibly use. And a garden that basically runs itself. Drop a comment and tell me which one you'd never heard of before today. And if the walking onion doesn't win that poll, I'll be genuinely surprised. See you in the next one.